Yo everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing my 2019 beauty favourites. Wow, it's taken me a bit of time to get all this stuff together, and you may notice that this may not actually, you know what, I was about to say there are not that many products. There are. Now I just want to make one thing clear. These are all products that I have bought this year. So some products may be ones which were released this year, and some may be ones which were released in other years, but I didn't actually get them until this year. For example, you guys know how much I love my ABH Saddle Bronzer. I still use it all the time. I'm using it today. However, I did not buy it in 2019, therefore it is not making it into this video. So let's start off with foundations, of which I obviously have a lot. Now, the only thing with foundations I have to say is now, basically, because I've been using acid exfoliants for over a year now, my skin colour has become very, very fair. To the point that I'd say 90% of my foundations are too dark for me now, which is unfortunate because when I did buy them, obviously they matched. Now I'm generally kind of wearing my more lighter ones, waiting for summer to start that I can go out with my SPF 50 on and at least catch a little bit of rays so I don't have to fork out thousands of pounds for new foundations. Anyway, so I'm going to get started on the ones that I have loved throughout 2019. In no particular order, some will be older, some will be newer. Now the first one is this one by Dior. It's the Dior Forever foundation. This is the matte one. My shade is 3W. Believe it or not, this is actually too dark for me now. But I absolutely love the way it sits on the skin. A lot of these products that I'm going to be showing you, there are reviews on my channel, so please feel free to do a search because I'm not going to go into great detail, otherwise we will literally be here all day. And I don't know about you guys, but I get tired of hearing my own voice, so I can only imagine what it's like for you. So this is one that I have absolutely loved for the majority of 2019. Excellent foundation. The Nabla Close Up Futuristic foundation. My shade is in T10 Tan. Absolutely love this. This is one of those blurring foundations, so it blurs the pores. Gives a really nice soft focus to the skin, and I absolutely love the quality of this, as well as the concealer, but I bought that in 2018, so it didn't make it into this video. The It Cosmetics CC Cream, which is the oil-free matte one. My shade is in medium tan. This actually does oxidize on me, so I actually need the shade up because this will probably be too dark for me in general. Absolutely love the way it feels on the skin because it is a product that has got skincare properties as well. It sits beautifully, gives amazing full coverage, and I love this. This was gifted to me. The Urban Decay Stay Naked Weightless Liquid Foundation. My shade is in 51WY. This is the one that was brought out midway through the year to replace the previous Naked foundation, which I know so many people were unhappy about, but I absolutely love the quality of this. It makes my skin look flawless, it makes it look fresh, it makes it look smooth, and this is a holy grail foundation for me. The Maybelline Dream Urban Cover Full Coverage Foundation. I love this because it's got SPF 50 in it, which is the SPF that I tend to generally use anyway. My shade is in 265 Soft Tan. It's got a really lightweight feel to it, despite the fact that it is full coverage, and that's one of the reasons that I love it. Also, because of the fact that I live in London, I live in one of the most polluted cities in the world. This really helps in terms of helping protect your skin against external factors. Very similar reasons as to why I like the Revlon Photoready Candid foundation. My shade is in 400 Macademia. They actually released a very large shade range for this foundation, which I'm happy about because Revlon generally has a very poor shade range. And this was also gifted to me. Again, I love the fact that it is an anti-pollution foundation, gives a really nice natural finish to the skin, and it's a really good value for money as well. Another drugstore foundation, the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation. My shade is in 260 Golden Sun. Again, another very lightweight but full coverage foundation, which is one of the reasons why I love it so much. I hate foundations which are full coverage but feel very kind of clogging and too heavy on the face. So this is great. It's very lightweight, like I've said, and it gives amazing coverage, and again, very affordable. I've got two of these because there is no actual proper shade match within this range. It is the Revolution Conceal and Hydrate Radiance Foundation with hyaluronic acid. I've got the shades F11.2 and F10. My shade is actually F10.5 in their Conceal and Define range, but for some reason they didn't release the entire shade range for this foundation, which is why I actually have to mix these two. But I really like the coverage of this. It's medium to full coverage. It gives a slight glowy hint to the skin, but it's not anything that makes me look shiny. The wear time on this is excellent, and of course it's only a couple of pounds, so making it really, really affordable. Probably the most affordable foundation that I've got to show you out of all of them. This is a relatively new purchase. It's from Colourpop. It's the Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Tinted Moisturiser. The shade that I bought is medium 12.W. Now, aside from the fact that I've already said that my skin is quite light, this is still a little bit light for me. Obviously, Colourpop is not something that I can just go down the shops and buy, so I haven't repurchased a darker shade. The next time I do a Colourpop order, I will get the slightly deeper shade. This is probably the best tinted moisturiser I have ever used. More so because despite the fact that it is a tinted moisturiser, it still has a very foundation kind of feel to the skin, and the way that it sits on the skin is beautiful. This one lasts up to 24 hours. This is one of the best performing products that I've probably got to show you out of all of the ones that I'm showing you today. It's absolutely excellent. The fact that it's also so big, it's got 43ml in it, which is excellent. I just love everything about it. Another more recent purchase is this from NYX Cosmetics. Is the Born to Glow Naturally Radiant Foundation. My shade is in beige. It's a little bit dark for me now. But again, absolutely love it. One of the best foundations I've used in 2019. The coverage is excellent. It gives a very naturally radiant look to the skin, which is why it's called Naturally Radiant Foundation. And the shade range is amazing. It's only £10. It's one of the more affordable foundations from NYX Cosmetics. Their foundation ranges go up and down in price. I'm not sure why they're not very consistent. But aside from that, 30ml, it stays on my skin looking flawless over 12 hours. I don't get shiny or anything like that, considering it's called Born to Glow. But the name is slightly misleading. It's not a dewy foundation at all. Now, my favourite foundation that I have been loving, which is probably my favourite this year, is the Dose of Colours Meet Your Hue foundation. My shade is in 120 light medium. I took this to Korea with me, I took it to Canada with me, and I took it to Paris. Now, you know, if it came with me on all of my holidays, it must be that good. It's matte, it's full coverage, it looks amazing on the skin, it lasts beautifully, I look flawless, and that is the reason why I love it so much. Right, moving on to concealers. Some of the concealers that I'm going to show you have got their foundation counterparts, which I've already shown you. So we will start off with the L'Oreal Infallible More Than Concealer. My shade is in 332 Amber. Full coverage, affordable, blends beautifully on the skin. Can't go wrong with this at all. I love it. The Revolution Conceal and Hydrate Radiance Concealer with Hyaluronic Acid and Acai. My shade is in C8. It's actually what I'm wearing on my under eyes today. It's a medium to full coverage concealer. It barely creases and it's only a couple of pounds. Absolutely love it. The IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye Full Coverage Anti-Aging Waterproof Concealer. The shade that I've got it in is 22.0 Medium Golden Warm. Absolutely love this. This was gifted to me. It's got a very skincare kind of feel to it. It's very, very moisturizing to the point where it almost feels oily. However, the texture under the eyes is absolutely beautiful. It feels luxurious when I apply it. You do have to set it because it has got all these skincare properties and things in it. It will crease if you don't set it properly. However, it's non-drying under the eyes. It actually really helps in terms of anti-aging under the eyes as well. And I absolutely love this. Earlier on in the year, I bought the Jeffree Star... what's it called? The Jeffree Star Concealer. I got Magic Star, is that what it was called? My shade is in C18. I do still use this quite a lot, especially more so because it is quite a neutral sort of shade. I'm sure you remember when I did my review, I talked about the shades, how difficult it was to choose online, etc. It does not work well with the Jeffree Star powder. However, if I use it with other powders like the Huda Beauty one or the Anastasia one, it performs beautifully under the eyes. Full coverage. It's quite creamy. However, it fills in everything. It doesn't move throughout the day and it looks flawless. Relatively newer purchase is the Oma Beauty Stay Woke Concealer. My shade is in Honey Honey T3. Full coverage, looks amazing. Another relatively new purchase, I actually think I bought this in December, is the Sleek Makeup Life Proof Concealer. This has come out, I think, the year before last. I can't remember. I didn't buy it until now. I bought mine in the shade number 6. Ristoretto Bianco. Again, full coverage. It lasts all day, looks amazing. The only thing I'm not a big fan of, because I'm so spoiled with other doe foot applicators nowadays, is this one is so small. I have to go in twice to get as much out as I do with other ones. But aside from that, it's very, very good for a drugstore concealer. Meet Your Hue concealer from Dose of Colors. My shade is in 20 medium tan. Absolutely love it. Similar to the way that the foundation performs. However, I would definitely say the foundation to me is better than the concealer, but the concealer is still very, very good. Full coverage, very lightweight, blends beautifully and looks amazing all day. Last but not least is the Urban Decay Stay Naked Correcting Concealer. My shade is in 50WY. This is my holy grail, my favorite for 2019. Absolutely excellent, full coverage, creamy, lightweight, barely creases, and looks amazing against my skin. Love this. All right, because I've only got a few of each to show you, I've decided to combine bronzers, blushes and highlighters together. So let's start off with bronzers. The first one that I've been loving quite a lot and you've seen in a lot of my favorites videos is the Fenty Beauty Sun Stalk'r Instant Warmth Bronzer. My shade is in Island Ting. This is very warm for me in terms of contouring. Look at it, you can see it's literally brown. And obviously when it comes to contouring, you're not really meant to use brown. You're meant to use more of a grayish, kind of ashy-ish undertone, which is a bit more neutral in order to create shade. Now when I want to do something which is a little bit warmer, I will use this on my face. I have been using this almost daily ever since I bought it. I do obviously use my Anastasia Beverly Hills Saddle Powder Bronzer as well, which is more kind of balanced between warm and cool. But this one is definitely one where I want a bit more of a bronzed kind of look, as well as trying to do some sort of contouring. The Huda Beauty Tantour Contour and Bronzer Cream in the shade Medium. This is definitely a very, very good product, and I tend to use this when I've got a little bit more time to get ready because it is a cream product that dries to a powder finish. It is absolutely excellent. I've given this a 10 out of 10. The way that it performs, the way that it sits, it doesn't mix in with your foundation and go patchy. Even if you decide to apply this after you've powdered your face, it still blends in really nicely with the skin, and I absolutely love it. Another one I'm going to show you is this bronzer, even though it was called a powder blush by MAC. It came from the Aladdin collection earlier on in the year, and this is called Your Wish Is My Command Powder Blush. It's obviously not a powder blush, you guys. It is a bronzer. You can still see it's got the genie's lamp on it. I haven't used it as much as the other ones, but I still loved this in 2019. One of my favorite bronzers. Really, it's actually quite deep for somebody of my skin tone. This is why it would work well on all skin tones. I just have to go in with a lighter hand. It's very soft, easy to blend. I've only got two blushes that are new to me this year, and they're both from Sleek. This one is called Life's a Peach. It's a beautiful peach shade. And this one is called Flushed. It's more of a berry tone. A lot of their blushes and products to this day are still incredibly pigmented. I love these colors. When I'm going for a more softer look, I go for something like this. If I'm going for something a bit more vibrant and more evening-y, I will go for something like this. Three highlighters to show you guys. This is the Estee Lauder Bronze Goddess Illuminating Jelly, basically the Heatwave highlighter. I've been loving this almost constantly since I bought this. It's got a nice hefty dent in it. It's not a new product by any means, but it's new to me. I bought this in the summer and I've not been able to put it down. I don't just use it to highlight my face, I also use it on my brow bone or my tear duct as well. Another highlighter from the Aladdin collection is this one called Always One Jump Ahead Powder Blush. Okay, how'd that a powder blush? I don't understand. Anyway, it's basically a gold highlighter. It's quite soft to the touch, but a little bit gritty and quite powdery. It's got the same consistency as a blush, but you can't use this as a blush. Even the fairest of the fair person would not be able to use this as a blush, but it's a gorgeous golden highlighter. And the last highlighter I'm going to show you is one of my more recent purchases. It's from Nabla Cosmetics. It's their Skin Glazing Glass Skin Finish Glow Powder. My shade is in Amnesia. Again, this is a classic gold shade. You know, for my skin tone, a kind of lightish gold generally tends to work quite well with me, so that's why I bought this. It definitely gives a glass skin finish and I think it's excellent. Right, let's move on to face powders. So I've got one loose setting powder to show you guys. It's the Anastasia Beverly Hills loose setting powder in the shade Banana. This was actually in my bedroom in my bag, which is my empties bag, because this finished a little while ago, and as you guys know, I collect things, then I do an empties video, so it is finished. The color is a little bit light for me, so on that basis I will not be repurchasing it. But for those of you guys who are a bit fairer than me, or who are even deeper than me and can then use the deeper deeper shade will benefit from this little review. Basically, it's an excellent setting powder. It sets all my under eye concealers and it works amazingly on the face. Very finely milled, very good quality, and you get a lot for your money as well. 2 pressed setting powders. The first one being this finished one here, which is the Nabla Cosmetics Close Up Smoothing Pressed Powder in medium. Look at, even the back is completely worn off. It goes hand in hand with the foundation in terms of giving a blurring effect to the skin. I literally used it until I dropped it in the gym and the ends kind of fell out, and you know. It's the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Skin Perfecting Micro Powder. Why are these names so long? Can't you just call it an airbrush powder? And mine is in the shade number 2 medium. I love this. I use this to set my foundation. Once I've set my under eyes with loose setting powder, I brush it off and then I very lightly tap this over it. It just kind of gives it that extra little something. I don't know why I do it. I probably don't need to do it, but I do it anyway. But I really love this. It makes my skin feel really nice and soft, and I'm going to definitely repurchase this when this finishes. Alright, I've got a whole bunch of eyelashes to show you, which I don't normally, and they're all mostly in packets because they've not been opened, because I generally tend to bulk buy my eyelashes. The first one is the Huda Beauty eyelashes in Sasha. This is what I'm actually wearing right now on my eyelashes. They're probably my favourite ones after another ones, which I'm about to show you guys. They're spiky, they're long, they're full on, and I love them. Another one, which is my favourite and it's still in its packaging, is this one called the Camille number 16 Easy Lash. It's not a full massive lash that goes from one end to the other end. It kind of just sits right in the middle. It's like the ones that I'm wearing right now, but these are a little bit more fanned out and a little bit smaller, so they're amazing to use for daily wear, but not natural daily wear, if that makes sense. And they're very easy to apply because they're not that big, and that's why they're called Easy Lash. These ones are very new. They came out this year by Huda Beauty. They're called the Hoodie number 23 Lengthy Lashes. As you can see, they're absolutely huge. They're long, they're fluffy, they're full on. Other one by Huda Beauty, they've kind of fallen around because I am using these. These are the Samantha lashes. These are their more kind of natural lashes. And the reason why I've got so many of them is because throughout the year, they've been given to me free by Feel Unique. Every time you order something, you get free Samantha lashes, free Samantha. I've got about 8 of these. So I have been loving these. Very nice everyday natural lashes, but they're quite wispy, so you can still see them. I hate wearing eyelashes that you can't see. What's the point? I'll just wear mascara, innit? Alright, another brand which I love, and I tend to bulk buy from them because I buy direct from them rather than in the UK, but it's down to personal preference, is the brand called Coco Lashes. When I order from Coco Lashes, I generally tend to do it when they've got sales and offers on, and then I send it to my Mailbox, which is a forward shipping company based in the US, and I can send them to me in the UK, avoiding customs charges at a more affordable rate. So when I buy them in packets like these. Anyway, the first one is this one called Queen Bee, very similar to the Samantha lashes by Huda Beauty. They're kind of fluffy and a little bit more natural. These ones here, which are called Demi G, are not too dissimilar to the Sasha ones that I'm wearing. The Sasha ones just happen to be a little bit longer, but I love these and I've got loads of them. This one here, which is still in its packet, is called the Stellar Lash, and I wear these all the time. They're not too dissimilar from the ones that I'm wearing. I'm sure you guys are sensing a theme of the kind of style that I generally tend to like. Long and spiky and obvious. I'm not so much a fan of fluffier ones. Not that I don't mind the hoodie ones because they've still got that length. But these ones are spiky and they're shorter in places and longer in places. So you've got that gap in your eyes that kind of makes your eyes appear a lot bigger. And then an even bigger version of those ones are these ones called Goddess. It's all in the name, you guys. I generally tend to wear these on like special occasions. Absolutely love them. They're huge, they're long. These ones I would definitely say are very similar to the ones that I'm wearing now. They're long and spiky and I love them. All right, let's move on to eyeshadow palettes for this year. Now, you may notice that some aren't here, but that's just because they weren't favorites. They were okay, but they weren't favorites. Anyway, from the beginning of the year, the Kat Von D Lolita eyeshadow palette, she expanded her Lolita shade to various other products. And this was the eyeshadow palette which came out, I believe, in the spring. It's full of mauve eyeshadows. It's absolutely gorgeous. The quality is excellent and I cannot fault this one bit. It's a 10 out of 10. A more recent purchase is the Too Faced Gingerbread Extra Spicy eyeshadow palette, which was limited edition for the holidays. It was a follow-on from last year's normal spicy palette, so this is the extra spicy one. Gorgeous, full of warm tone shades, oranges, browns and golds. Very brown skin friendly and excellent quality. Next is the Jackie Eyeliner eyeshadow palette from ABH. I've been loving this ever since I bought it. It's amazing on medium and deep, in particular deep skin tones, but obviously I'm not deep, so I'm just saying it from my point of view. It's an absolutely amazing palette, great quality, amazing shades, a nice variety of shades as well. The Urban Decay Naked Honey eyeshadow palette. It's been a while since I bought anything from Urban Decay in terms of their eyeshadows, because I personally found that a lot of the more recent ones were crap. So I was pleasantly surprised by this one. Again, another warm toned palette, but more kind of leaning on the orangey yellowy side of warm tones, going with that whole honey theme. Great everyday palette, would work well on all skin tones. Huda Beauty only released one large eyeshadow palette this year because she released so many tiny ones. This is the Mercury Retrograde eyeshadow palette, which came out towards the tail end of the year. Very, very different to the other ones that I've shown you. This is not a warm tone palette by any means. Lots of mauves, kind of pinky sort of shades, purples, very kind of spring kind of palette, but I absolutely love this and I use this a lot. Rest I'm going to show you is all Huda Beauty, by the way. So in the summer she came out with these neon eyeshadow palettes, were limited edition. Absolutely love them. They're absolutely amazing because neon was a big trend in 2019 and is actually tapered through into 2020, which I'm very happy about because I love neon. I just love the way that these shades are all made up. Really great quality, very different, very bright, got a lot of pigments in there that stain the eyes, but you know what, it's all good and well as long as you remove it properly. But I absolutely love these. I actually don't have one which is a favorite because I use all three of them and I'm still using them to this day. Another 3 eyeshadow palettes from Huda Beauty again is ones that she released towards the tail end of the year, which is the Obsessions palettes but in nude range. So this one is the Nude Light, the Nude Medium, and then the Nude Rich eyeshadow palette. I love all 3 of them. I cannot put them down to this day. I think they're absolutely excellent. Huda Beauty's eyeshadow palettes are absolutely excellent quality. I rarely have a palette of hers where I've said, oh, it's rubbish. You know, they're really, really good value for money. You get 9 eyeshadows and there is something for everybody from fairest skin to deep skin. Okay, so the lipsticks I'm going to show you are all quite similar in terms of where they came from. Let me explain. Because I already have so many lipsticks, I didn't actually buy hundreds and hundreds of lipsticks like I normally do the past year. I've kind of been getting a little bit wiser in terms of how I spend my money. But in 2019, I was finally introduced to, or decided to try, the Maybelline Superstay Matte Inks. I love them, but in particular these shades, which were my favorite ones. I love the way that they sit on the lips like liquid lipsticks, but they still have that tacky feel, so they don't get drying and flaky like a lot of other brands, like for example Anastasia Beverly Hills ones do. So I love the fact that they have the longevity but they still have that comfort. Plus obviously they're affordable and generally they're on offer because they are drugstore. This was the first one that I ever actually owned. Pioneer is a beautiful deep red. You should see how this shows up on deep skin tones. My best friend Michelle wears this. It looks amazing on her. It looks better on her than it does on me. This shade here called Amazonian, which is like a nice caramel shade. This one called Lover, which is like the perfect everyday baby pink. This one is called Founder. I think I bought this from Walmart when I was in Canada. Same with this one here, which is why it's written on the bottom, not on the top like the UK ones. This one is called Artist. Both of these are kind of similar-ish pinky, kind of deep pinky shades, which tend to work well with my skin tone. And then this one here called Ruler, which is another perfect everyday pink but slightly deeper than Lover. I love Primark liquid lipsticks. Unfortunately I don't have the names. I think one set is called Alter Ego and I don't remember what the other one is called, but basically you get a liquid lipstick, a corresponding lip pencil. Both of these are kind of reddish shades. One's a bright red and one's a more browny red. Again, they don't write the names on the actual tube, so unfortunately the packet that I did have with the name on it got binned, but you can generally find these still there. Huda Beauty Spice Girl liquid lipstick and lip contour, the lip pencil. Again, it's not something that came out in 2019, but I bought it in 2019 and I've not been able to put it down. The perfect chocolate brown shade for medium skin tones. That's all I can say. Now the rest of these are from the Huda Beauty Power Bullets ranges. I believe that she came out with 3 different launches over the past 12 months. And these are my few favorites from those 3 launches. So in no particular order, this first one here, which is called Spring Break, which is this beautiful bright shade here. Motion Day, which is a gorgeous deep red. Honeymoon, which is a lovely neutral deep pink. Interview, which is a perfect interview shade. Basically, it's like a nudie brown caramel. Wedding Day, which is basically like a mauvey sort of pink. This one, which is called El Cinco de Mayo, which is a bright reddish orange shade. Now I've got a whole random miscellaneous section to go through last. First one is the Huda Beauty Resting Boss Waterproof Setting Spray. Now I know a lot of people do have problems with this because it's got such a high alcohol content, but if your face doesn't get affected by the alcohol, you can admit that this is an excellent setting spray. Nothing moves, nothing budges. Now, since I've developed rosacea on the side of my nose, I've stopped using this because it does burn. However, once that goes, I will continue to use this. This is probably one of the best on the market that I've ever tried. In terms of face primer, the Too Faced Primed and Peachy Cooling Matte Skin Perfecting Primer is one that I have loved throughout 2019. It feels nice and cool on the skin and still keeps everything matte. Got two eyeliners to show you. The first one is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Liquid Liner, which I'm using right now. This is about to finish and I've already got a backup. Love it. Thick black line. It is completely opaque. I don't have to go in twice to layer it because it becomes see-through, because it doesn't. And because it's got a felt tip nib which is pointed, I get a really nice flick. Another eyeliner is the Huda Beauty Life Liner. I did not necessarily give this the best review just in terms of the way that the product was made. However, if I can ignore that, the actual liquid liner side is absolutely excellent. It does not move, it does not budge, it does not come off. Once you've got the hand of how to use it, because it is quite thick and clumpy, and that side is great. But unfortunately, the side with the kohl pencil is absolutely rubbish. This ain't doing nothing to no one. This comes out grey on me. It's just not dark enough. I've got two lash glues that are my favourites. If you guys remember earlier on in the year, I had a flare-up of blepharitis on my eyes. And I found out that it was the latex in my duo glue which was causing the flare-ups. So I went on a mad one trying to find every single latex-free lash glue that I could find. And I did a whole video on it. But these two are my hands down favourites. The first one being the House of Lashes Lash Adhesive. This one is in black, latex free, doesn't come off. Probably one of the better ones that I've got out of all of them. So I love this. And then this one by the brand called Cardani Secure Hold, which was created by a company that had created certain products for people that have gone through chemotherapy and therefore have very sensitive skin. And this is still my favourite. This is a relatively new purchase in terms of brow gels. I've been using a Primark one for months. It was rubbish and I just was too lazy to go out and buy another one. This is the NYX Control Freak Eyebrow Gel. It's clear, keeps everything nice and tidy, doesn't feel crunchy, it feels natural, and I like the hold that I get from this. Anastasia Beverly Hills came out with the Dip Brow Gel this year, which was a alternative to their normal dip brow that comes in a pot. This one comes with like a mascara brush. You brush it onto your eyebrows, it deposits the product, you can just tidy them up and voila, you're done. I like the convenience of this product. I've actually got it in two shades, medium brown and chocolate, because I actually found that these tend to run darker than the dip brow in the pot. But I absolutely love the fact that I can get my eyebrows done really, really quick when I use this. I literally brush it on, use an angled brush to tidy up the edges, and I'm good to go. A relatively new purchase. I got it from the Glossier pop-up shop, which is still in London at the moment, and it is called Brow Flick, a microfine detailing pen. And I bought mine in the shade brown, I think it is. Yeah, brown. So basically, it's, as the name suggests, it's a pen. And I like to fill in the front of my brows where it's a little bit sparse, and then I fill in the rest with other products. But I like the fact that you can get a very natural brow with this. My favourite brow product of the year has to be my IT Cosmetics Brow Power in the shade Universal Taupe. It's got a twist up brush on one end and then it's got a spoolie on the other. To be fair, all the ones I have received this year have been gifted to me, but that is because I've continuously asked them to give it to me because I love it that much. The first time they sent it to me, I used it up. When they asked me if I wanted any more products, I was like, yeah, send me whatever, but send me this too because I love it. I'm using it right now because it's in the shade Universal Taupe. It's the only shade it comes in. You can use it if you're a redhead or if you've got the deepest of deep hair color or skin tone as well, because it all depends on how hard you press it. Oh my god, that's it. Wow, that's a lot of stuff. That's a lot of stuff, isn't it, you guys? Just for reference, I'm wearing the new Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk in Intense. This is for deep skin tones on my lips, because I know you guys will ask. These gorgeous daisy sparkly earrings are from Topshop. I love them. And this jumper is from Zara. I like the bow. It's very different. You know how I am. Yeah. So that's it. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I didn't add any skincare because I was like, let me just keep it to makeup. Following this video will be my regrets. Now, I know you guys like the regrets more than you do the favorites. Well, actually, it's... Anyway, I am wishing you all a fabulous 2020. 2020 is the year for us. It is definitely for the year for me. It started off really well for me, and I'm looking forward to a more happier and positive year than 2019, which was just downright awful for me. But anyway, I'm wishing you all and sending you all my love, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.